One-handed catch. Oh, he's got it!
Welcome to the cockpit. My name's Ryan, and I'll be your pilot today. We have Jets Fins Squish the Fish Week coming up at 1 o'clock. The New York Jets with playoff hopes, however minuscule they are, on the line. Jets need this to have any hope of having any sort of relevancy come playoff time. We need a lot of things to break our direction. There's news that Aaron Rodgers is going to be medically cleared to play versus the Commanders on Christmas Eve coming up. That's what it seems like he's on track for. Is he actually going to play? I want to hear from you guys if you even want to see him on the field. It's a lot of things, and I understand fans both ways as to what they're looking for. As far as today's game, looks like the weather is starting to clear up according to some of our lovely people in the chat. So it doesn't seem like the winds or the rain or whatever it could be that may have otherwise made this a running game may not be the case. So can Zach get it done 2 weeks in a row? 9 times out of 10, it has not worked out in our favor, but this is a new feeling. This is a new team. This is a new week. This is not the same Zach from years previous. So maybe, just maybe, we get lightning to strike twice here with Mr. Zach Wilson. Before we hop into everything, I do want to go over to our sponsor of the day. You guys have seen him. Hold on, let me pull it up. Boom. I said boom, and I didn't pull it up. SKG Tax. Got a little holly jolly read for this one. The holiday season is here, and Santa will see who's been naughty or nice. He slays to every roof and goes down every chimney. In tax season, the IRS looks at their naughty and nice list. They go to every mailbox on every street. Don't let the IRS leave a lump of coal in your mailbox. Call JR the Tax Czar and talk to a CPA. Make sure you and your business stay on the nice list. If you guys want to help support a great sponsor of the channel, as well as a local or, a buddy of our own. He's a Jet fan, right? Support one of our own. Head over to JR at SKG Tax. JR, thank you so much for sponsoring the channel. All right, I want to go into your questions and comments. I see a bunch of people in the chat. Dakota, always here bright and early. Connor, same as well. I see your Red Sea Justice says, bro, what is A-Rod doing this week? Talking about the interception as a linebacker, which, fun fact, I have a picture of him playing linebacker against Zach Wilson from training camp. So that's something they've done in the past, which is still asinine to me that they even have him in there. And he's making a one-handed interception after a torn Achilles. Ridiculous. He says, I'm trying to be jet-alistic. Are the Dolphins the only thing standing in the way of Aaron Rodgers giving us the gift that keeps on giving? I will say this. I do think the Jets have to win for Rodgers. I shouldn't say that. I want the Jets to win to give me the illusion of hope. But at the same time, there's like this really doom and gloom portion of me that says like MetLife's turf is going to steal the other Achilles from Aaron Rodgers. And I'm like absolutely terrified to have him go out on the field. But I do want to see it. Orlando Season here says, we're going to win today. Haskell says, weather update. This is where I got my weather update from. He says, via Antoine V. Staley, good news. The rain appears to be done. Sunny and blue skies for Jets Dolphins. All right. See Zach slinging. Nick says, let's go game day. Dakota says, we're winning today. And for Christmas Eve, we're getting the biggest present ever as Jet fans getting Rodgers back for the Washington game, our last home game. I still get the feeling they're just trying to sell tickets. He's not. He might be like active. Like he'll be like, oh, activated for this game, but he'll be quarterback too. I don't know. I'm so torn. If you could guarantee me he's not going to get injured on the field in any of these last 3 games, I want to see him back on the field. But if there's any risk to 2024, I can't go through another year like this. Ant just says, let's go Dakota. Connor says, we'll be there pregame. Oh, will there be there? Will there be pregame call-ins? Yeah, I could do that. I'm going to wait a little bit, get a little closer to, I'll go to like 11:30 or so. Let some of the comment questions roll in, and then I'll get some visual representation from some of our best call-in guys, like Connor. Lewis, from across the pond, let's effing go. Fluffy Boy, saying, I really hope we can win this game and keep our playoff hopes alive. I think it's like is it 0.2% or like 2%? I think it's 0.2% chance of the Jets getting in, but maybe they believe the Jets aren't going to win this game. We need so many more things to break. It's going to be tough to get in. I don't think you make any decisions based on, well, you got to win, right? Got to take care of one game at a time. Jets have to win out to have any shot. So take care of business today. Dakota coming in. What's up, Dakota? Says Miami choked to the Titans, who don't even have a close to great defense the way the Jets do. The Titans gave the Dolphins every opportunity to win that game. 2 turnovers inside of like 5 minutes or 6 minutes, whatever it was, where the Dolphins scored touchdowns. You can't tell me that like the Jets don't stand a better chance. As long as we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, I think we should beat the Dolphins. I really do. Now I got to pull up the Dolphins injury report. See, this is something I should have up ahead of time, and I didn't do it. Let's see what we got. So Tyreek Hill is listed as questionable. And they are without Deshaun Elliott and Robert Hunt. So safety and a guard, they are out. Everyone else is questionable. So Tyreek Hill, Devon Achane, Teron Armstead, Liam Eichenberg, Javon Holland, Xavier Howard, Austin Jackson, and Andrew Van Ginkel, all listed as questionable today for the Miami Dolphins. So can they actually do it? Can they do it? I don't know. I don't think so. Boys and girls, like Nightbot is saying in the chat, if you want to help support the channel, Underdog Fantasy will match your first $100 deposit with code JETS247. You can click the link in the description down below, or you can head over to Underdog Fantasy and type in JETS247. Helps me out because they continue to want to sponsor the channel and helps you guys out because you guys might win something out of there. I'll show you guys my picks for today. I do have, they didn't have as many for the Jets, which was really weird. It was like all defensive players. So today I'm going with one of their pre-made pick'ems. So you could go in there and they have, this was the air it out pick'em, but they have other ones and they have other games too. So you could go on like basketball if you want to do basketball. So I have Tua higher than 221 yards. I do think he's going to get more than that because the Jets are going to be leading. They're going to have to pass the ball to get back into it. So I think he's going to go higher. Will Levis, I believe, only has one game below 27.5 passing attempts when I looked that up. So I do think he's going to go over that number again. Bailey Zappi, 187 passing yards. Based on what he did last week, I do think he has a good shot at airing it out against Kansas City. If Kansas City's winning, they're going to have to obviously pass the ball a lot. Baker Mayfield basically has an interception in almost every one of his games outside of like, I would say more often than not, he has an interception, at least one interception in a game. I shouldn't say at least one. He really only has one interception per game when he does have an interception, but it seems like he has interceptions a lot. So I'm going to go on the over there against Green Bay. And then Derek Carr, 19.5 completions. This one's a little bit dicier. I'm not as confident with Derek Carr in this capacity because he hovers right around there. It's not usually close. But maybe against the Giants, maybe Tommy Cutlets has himself a day, and Derek Carr's got to pass a little bit more. This is a $20 entry to win $400. So if you guys want to play along or you guys want to create any other contest that you want to create, you can customize all this. You just need 2 players from different teams. So as long as you have 2 different teams in your 5-person pick'em, you're able to complete the pick'em. And they have other ones like the run and dunk, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, and basketball. I guess you could combine sports too. News to me, my ass only watches football. And then lunch plans. James Cook, CeeDee Lamb, Richie Rice. You see what they did there? Last names. Cook, Lamb, Rice. They're so clever, those Underdog people. But head over there if you want to support the channel. Jets 24/7. They'll match your first $100. All right. Fluffy Boy says, do you think Zach can repeat the performance? I sure as hell hope so. I want Zach back here as quarterback, 3, competing for quarterback 2 against someone. else next year, so I would love to see him compete. I really like Zach a lot from like a personal standpoint, but I don't know if he's actually going to. Don't know if he's going to repeat. Civil Jet says, I am hesitant, but I want Zach to ball out so bad. Yeah, look, I don't give a shit about the draft pick. You still got to make the right selection at the end of the day. So whether it's sitting in the top 5 or sitting in the top 10 or sitting in the top 15, got to make the right pick, regardless of who it is. Remember, just a few years ago, the Giants were criticized for not losing their final game of the season, so they wound up handing Chase Young, the generational edge rusher, to their division rival Washington Commanders. Well, now, Chase Young no longer on the Commanders, and instead the Giants selected franchise left tackle Andrew Thomas. So I want to win. I want to win. Johnny says, I'm sorry, guys. We getting beat down by the Finns. Johnny, get the hell out of here.
That's it. You're out of here.
Done with this negative Nancy stuff. Mitt Flair says, I don't know what's going to happen today. Yeah, none of us do. I'm sitting back with zero expectations, but all the hope in the world. Brian comes in. Brian says, I have Zach Wilson as my starter in fantasy football. Stroud and Herbert were my others, just my luck. Hey, I'm never going to criticize you for playing the best quarterback. And that would be Zach Wilson in this particular situation. Reynolds says, we got this one. Melvin says, let's sack Tua till he gets his 4th concussion. So I don't root for injury. I just think Tua's not very safe from an injury perspective, generally. Like, he's injury prone. I don't want to see him go down. Not like that. I want to beat honestly, I wish Tyreek Hill was 100% because I don't want to win on like we weren't 100%. Although I guess if Finns fans start to say that, it'll be like, listen, mother trucker, we don't even have our quarterback. Kick rocks. Right? Andrew says, D-line going to eat today, 5 sacks and Sauce getting that interception. Sauce doesn't have an interception on season. They've been talking about him getting one. I think today would be the perfect time to get it. Tua always throws an interception. Robbie Meichner, our resident Ravens fan, coming in. What's up, dude? He says, need y'all to win today, Ryan. Let's go. So he's a Ravens fan, wants the Jets to just give the Dolphins the business. I think Baltimore is going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl this year because our Jets, look, unless we make the playoffs, it's going to be Baltimore. I don't think the Finns are a good team right now. I think they have an electric offense, but I don't think they are a good team. Melvin says, Titans have a good quarterback. Yeah, he looks pretty decent. Brian says, let's beat the Dolphins without injury. Whoops. Let's beat the Dolphins without injury on either side. I agree. I want to see no injuries from either side of this. Football's too riddled with that. Jimmy Jett says, what's the latest on Hill's injury? Is he still a game-time decision? He is listed as questionable right now, along with everyone else. There's 2 guys that are out for the Dolphins. Deshaun Elliott, safety. He's out with a concussion. Robert Hunt, guard, out with a hamstring. And then Tyreek Hill, Devon Achane, Teron Armstead, Liam Eichenberg, Javon Holland, Xavier Howard, Austin Jackson, Andrew Van Ginkel, all listed as questionable. Raheem Mostert was limited in practice, but it seems like he's going to be fine to play today. I must be behind on my stuff. He says, Ryan just read my mind. Melvin asking, is Tippmann playing? I believe so. Now he's listed as questionable. He was a full participant in practice yesterday. Joe Tippmann was. So hopefully we're seeing more from our stud young center. Carney says, key thing that no one is surprisingly talking about is Miami lost their starting center for the rest of the season. That is huge for us. 100%. You lose Connor Williams. We've seen, as Jet fans, what happens when your starting center goes down. Heck, we were on our 4th center against the Giants and it almost cost us the game. Jets center of that defensive line, Quinnen Williams, gonna feast. Jefferson, gonna feast. Milton says Zach can play just 2/3 of the game he played last week and we will win this game. Defense is going to eat. I do think we just have to have a above average performance from Zach. Keep it clean, no turnovers, but don't be afraid to throw the long ball. Don't be afraid to just air it out. Look, I want to see some fun here. Want to be entertained. Connor says, by the way, 3 and out. was sick. Can't wait for tomorrow. So Connor, what Connor's talking about, if you guys don't know, I am hosting a new show over on Roundtable Sports. So if you guys want to support that channel, we are just below 1,000 subscribers, I believe. But I get to launch the inaugural show. And Connor got to see episode 1 of it. We are shifting the rules slightly to make it flow a little bit better, so it's going to be a little bit different than it was last week. But I guess I'll play you guys a little ad as to what that game actually is. I think it's fun. It's a good time. You get 3 or 4 different content creators, and I get to control how people are eliminated here. Now, if my mouse wants to work, did my mouse pad really just die right now? Is that what happened? I can't even click on my scenes. All right. Got to bring in the backup mouse. Nope. Wrong mouse. There we go. Now we're live. All right. I'll show you guys the little 3 and Out trailer we got going on. Welcome to 3 and Out, the interactive NFL game show where viewers like you get to decide which of your favorite content creators get benched and which ones move on in the ultimate competition. Boys and girls, thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's greatly appreciated. But that was 3 and Out. Noah says, Ryan, please talk all that smack to TD on Monday if we win today. Dude, I am going to beat TD into submission if the Jets win today. I have been all fired up for like the last week, and I'm probably far more confident about the Jets winning this game than I probably should be. I don't care. I'm like, I've been itching to like talk shit all year, and this is the one game I really, really want to see. Come on, make it happen. Mr. Bacon says, do you think Zach will make bad throws or throw dimes and dots? He's throwing dimes and dots today, baby. Gotta believe. Zachary Burner says, do you believe in Christmas miracles? I do. Melvin coming in says, Tua is terrible without Tyreek. If he's hobbled, my guess would be Hill's going to be on the field and he's going to be used a little bit more as a decoy in some instances. I think he'll still get the ball. Like I could see him with like a touchdown and 60 yards, but I think you'll see maybe the Jets err on the side of single coverage, potentially. I guess it depends how he looks pregame. They should have people in the stands like just watching him like, okay, well, how does Tyreek look exactly? Because maybe that shifts how you decide to play. Mr. Green Jeans comes in and says, this might be the most important game to get ahead early, taking the run game away and forcing Tua to throw. He's 0-3 when being sacked 3 or more times. They have a really, really good run game. It's so important for the Jets to get over this hump for the Dolphins. Like if the Jets can score some points, keep Miami behind the sticks, behind on the scoreboard. Now all of a sudden you got them forced into a position where they have to throw the ball. That's a winning formula for the New York Jets. They friggin' Achane and Mostert, they're running like 4, 5, 6 yards before they're touched in most occurrences. This offensive line for Miami, and I think it's more so the scheme in general because they're missing a ton of offensive linemen and they're still able to get yards on the ground. Very impressive what they're doing down there. Harlan says, Jets should win this game. Miami has a lot of injuries on the offensive line. The Jets have a lot of injuries on the offensive line. Like anyone that's saying like, oh, the Dolphins don't have... So this isn't directed at you, Harlan. But everyone who's saying, oh, the Dolphins, you know, they lost only because of the injuries. I want to hear nothing about it because the Jets don't have Aaron fucking Rodgers. And our entire offensive line is decimated. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to get a bunch of Dolphin fan DMs. Oh, well, you guys wouldn't have won if Tyreek was 100%. That's what's going to happen. Frustrated. Damon comes in and says, Armstead is reported to be playing. Is it better to have players that were listed on the injury report playing at not 100%, or is it better to have their backup playing? It's kind of an open-ended question. I'm hoping the ailment that was keeping him on that injury report might cause him to flub up a little bit. Now, Armstead was dealing with a knee and an ankle. So it's entirely possible that him out there is better for the Jets than his backup. We shall see, though. My Holy King says, can Zach just play with confidence the rest of the way, please? I just hope we see like a fun team the rest of these 4 weeks. If you can give me Dolphins, Commanders, Browns, Jets, and I'm entertained the entire time and I have hope moving into next year, that's really all I want. I don't necessarily look, I want to have wins, but I want to know that like this team, this offense can win when they're playing as they should. I think that was the biggest question mark throughout this entirety of the season. It's like, oh, damn, Hackett's the guy. And like, is his offense even going to work at all? I hope he plays with confidence. I want to see Zach back. I really do. John says, hello, all my Jet friends. Hello. Glad to have you in here. Mr. Bacon, can Zach get player of the week? Lightning strikes twice occasionally. He got it last week. I want to see it. Damon saying, Armstead, Eichenberg, Austin, all expected to start despite being questionable. So they got 3 guys across the offensive line, one of them being their backup center. Jets D-line's going to feast tonight. Going to absolutely feast. That's what I want to see. Make it happen, boys and girls. Make it happen. Any word on Miami's active roster? So according to Damon, those were the names that we believe are going to be playing today. Mr. Green Jeans says, I've been saying since before the Titans loss that Miami would implode and lose out after the Jets, Finns play Dallas, Baltimore, and Buffalo. So we have that little bit of like finger on the scale that could really nuke the Dolphins season, and I would love that. Now, I think they are still like a 96% chance of being able to make the playoffs at least, but I'm hoping we get some help. I shouldn't get some help, but I hope we can help them on their way to a 5-game losing streak. So that is a very tough schedule. Dolphins have not been good against good teams. John says, I like this show very much. John, I like you. You're all right. We can keep you around. Boys and girls, hit that like button if you are enjoying the show. We've got over 100 people in here, only 46 likes. If you enjoy this, entice me into doing pre-games by hitting the like button. But only if you like it. I'm not going to force you into anything. Zachary comes in and says, with all the injuries Dolphins have, I don't think they can last until the playoffs. Now, against the teams they're going to face, the Jets, Dallas, Baltimore, the Bills, that team is going to get the shit kicked out of them for the last 5 weeks of the season. It's just a matter of can they overcome it. Damon says Tyreek looks good pregame. Here we go. I hope we lock him down. Andrew says, what are we going to say if Zach goes out, throws for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and we still lose? Not saying it's going to happen, but what if? So that could happen. It depends how it happens, right? Like if Zach goes for 300 yards and it winds up being a situation where like we're getting 300 yards because we are in garbage time and we just so happen to have 3 touchdowns because we are in garbage time, that's entirely possible. But if we have a game like we had last week against the Texans, I don't think there's any way. If Zach goes for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, you'd have to imagine the Jets are winning this game. It'd be brutal to not win that one. Dan Dujak, thank you so much for the super chat, dude. Greatly appreciated. I see you don't have a comment attached to that, so if you want to drop it in the live chat, when I see it pop up, I'll throw it on the screen. So, Dan, thank you so much for the super chat, and I'll keep an eye out in the chat for what your comment was going to be, and if not, thank you for the $2 super chat. It's greatly appreciated. John says, I wish I could watch the game. It's not here in Western North Carolina. Oh, man. That sucks. Yeah, and Sunday tickets not cheap either. I know Green Bean's going to be streaming the game today, so you won't be able to see the game, but him and Jeremy will be doing it. I think Richie... Oh, no, Richie's not going to be able to do this one. But definitely check out our boy Green Bean. Look at that. With the lava lamp. Is that dog in hat? Is that dog with hat right now? If you guys don't know what that is, follow in the cryptocurrency world. Ugh. Wild. Salik says, Ryan, did you see that catch? I did not. I'm not watching the pregame stuff. I'm just sitting here with you guys, answering some questions. Let's see, 6 more minutes. We'll go over to the phone lines. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Dan says, can you imagine if they activate him and he is quarterback 2, how many fans will be cheering for Zach Wilson to go down? So I do think that Rodgers gets cleared and he winds up being quarterback 2 for the Washington game. And if the Jets get into a situation where they do win or they're about to win, I could see Rodgers going out and taking the final knee. Cautiously optimistic. I'm absolutely terrified that he goes down in the final game at MetLife, where it's like, okay, MetLife's turf has taken the franchise quarterback away in game 1. And then the final game of the season on MetLife's turf, the jokes write themselves. I just don't want to see it happen. I hope no one roots for Zach to go down. I want Zach to continue to play well, because at the very least, we get a better draft pick if we wind up trading him. Jimmy Jets says, Miami hasn't beaten a team with a winning record in a long time. So they technically beat the Broncos, and the Broncos now have a winning record. But, I guess no, they don't, right? Are they back to 500? I think they're back to 500 right now with the loss yesterday. But that team is drastically different. They were missing like their entire defense when Miami played them initially. Not unlike the Raiders beating down the Chargers this past week. The Chargers were without, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and Justin Herbert and Joey Bosa. When you're missing all the chefs, it's hard to make a cake. Gangrene says, we were supposed to feast versus a hurt Dallas O-line. I'm hoping for the best. I think the Jets' loss to Dallas had more to do with like us reeling from the loss of Aaron Rodgers and trying to deal with what the rest of our season was going to be like. And clearly we did not play well. So, Moon says Hill will be used as a decoy. I think he definitely will. Depends how hobbled he is. They're going to need him down the stretch more than just the Jets game. Like, they could afford to lose to us. They can't really afford to lose to Baltimore. I guess they could afford to lose like a non-conference game to Dallas, but they got to win all these games here. Armado says, on my way to the stadium, the beatdown of the Dolphins could not come soon enough. Let's see it, baby. Let's see it. Damon says, 99-yard pick 6. Holland is inactive. Yeah, it sucks. That damn pick 6 last week, or not last week, the last time we played them, it was 10-6 going into halftime. The Jets just kneel it 10-6 going into halftime against that offense. I hate that pick 6. Hate it. Phil, thank you so much for the super chat, Phil. He says, Jets have a 0.03 chance to make the playoffs. I hope Zach plays well for the rest of the season, but lose out to get Joe Alt, please. Peace. Go Jets. Keep up the great content. So the Jets, if the Jets are 0.03%, you're telling me there's a chance. You're telling me there is some slight bit of hope. Look, I want to see wins because I think the wins are more important than the draft pick for this particular team. It's not like we're trying to go for the quarterback at the top of the draft, or if there's like, I think you still got to make the right pick. Like, you can draft really high, like Proof and Point, Sam Darnold, 3rd overall pick, Zach Wilson, number 2 overall pick. You'd probably say those were not the right selections at this point in time, but I hope Zach balls out. I really do. I want to have a chance. I want to be entertained. More than anything, I want to feel like I'm not wasting my time. So whether that's a win, great. If it's a loss, just don't be like a 6-3 stinker with like 100 yards. I don't want to see that. John says, can you aim your camera to your TV and stream it live for me? I don't think I can. I think they would actually flag me for that. I definitely can't show the audio. I kind of tread a fine line with the every throw video. So, John, if you want to watch the every throw video after, I will have that up for Zach Wilson for Jets Fins. So that's what I'm going to do during the game. Oh, Salik says Richie is streaming the game. All right. So he changed his mind. He told me yesterday when I was talking to him. Or, no, was it yesterday? 2 days ago. I think it was 2 days ago. He told me he was not going to be able to. Hopefully he is. Zachary Burner says, Jalen Hurts didn't travel with the team, not Jets, but big for Monday night. I did not know he wasn't going to play. Interesting. Nick says, what's the weather today in Miami? They play terrible in the rain and cold weather, so it's not going to be cold, and it apparently is clearing up from the rains. So I don't think it's going to be a big issue, not going to impact the game. Scott Bennett says, do you think if the Jets played like they did against the Texans, we can beat the Dolphins? Yes, if we play like we did against the Texans, Jets are absolutely going to steamroll the Dolphins. Keuka Lake says, Ryan, it burns when I pee. Should I drink cranberry juice today? Sounds like you got a UTI, my friend. Yes, drink lots and lots of fluids. Try to get that knocked out of there. Alex says, the Dolphins have both safeties out, but have Howard and Ramsey. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Jets' passing attack works. Like, I feel like we should utilize our tight ends more. And then obviously if Garrett's one-on-one, I think you give him the opportunity to try and make a play against Ramsey or Howard or whoever he's going up against. The main event says today feels like a typical letdown Miami blowout for some reason. A win today says a lot about this team and all but guarantees we'll see Rodgers if he's medically cleared as being reported. So if the reports are true and there's like a 3% or a 0.03% chance of the Jets actually making the playoffs, then I don't know. I think it's almost more ceremonious that Rodgers comes back. I just don't want to risk him for next year. I don't know. Tim says, any fantasy teams in the playoffs, Ryan? No. I had one that was supposed to be in, and then DJ Moore went off on Thursday Night Football like 2 weeks ago, and like I was winning by some insane amount of points. And like, well, I shouldn't say I was winning at that point. The reason I lost is because DJ Moore got 45 friggin' points. And like, I had an 80% chance of winning, and then something happened on Monday Night Football, and I don't remember what it was, but it knocked me out. I was really ticked. I have a halfway decent team, but I was right on the cusp. I did not have a great fantasy year this year. A few guys I banked on did not have the seasons that they had. I definitely took a few Jets that I usually try to bet, not against, but I try not to like play fantasy with my heart. But I was like, well, how could I not have Breece Hall? Or how could I not have Garrett Wilson? Or how could I not have the Jets defense? Always bites me. Rafi says, maybe I'm in the minority. I don't think it's smart to play A-Rod. This is unprecedented to come back at his age and this fast. Let him come back completely healthy next year. I would love to see him on the field if you could guarantee me him not getting hurt. You can't guarantee me that. It's absolutely terrifying. Jake comes in, Mr. Salty Pants, or realist, whichever way you look through the lens of Jet fanhood. He says, Ryan Leaf Jr., are people really getting fooled by him again? Yes, Ryan, or I'm Ryan. Yes, Jake, I am taking it hook, line, and sinker. Until he's not a Jet, I'm going to root for the guy to be the best damn Jet he could possibly be. C Moon says, why does everyone feel there's only one tackle in the draft? I agree, C Moon. There's a bunch of tackles. There's Joe Alt. You got Olu Fashanu. Both those guys are probably going to go in the top 5 from what it appears like right now. But there's some other really good tackles in this draft. This is, I think, one of the deepest offensive lineman drafts in a while. So if the Jets have to trade down or we wind up picking, top 10 or top 15, I think the Jets should still be able to get a top tackle. And if they don't, I'm fine taking a top wide receiver as well. If you tell me, hey, the Jets are going to come away with Keon Coleman and then tackle was figured out some other way, I'm good with that. Melvin says, if the Jets win, do you think the precedent or the percent, what do you think the percent we make the playoffs? If the Jets win, I think more of it has to do with other teams losing than it does the Jets actually winning. Maybe it bumps up to like a 5% chance, which is still like astronomically high compared to where it is currently. But we need a lot of help from a lot of other players to do this. Win out games, go into next season feeling confident about the team. I think making this team look as attractive as possible for free agents coming into next year, that's the benefit of Rodgers playing. If Rodgers plays, then free agents who may have considered coming to New York might feel more likely to sign there because they're like, okay, at least he's back. I know he's good to go. And it's not like, well, we didn't see anything from him as a Jet, and his last bit of service with Green Bay was not very good. So was he trending down and he's continuing to trend down? And am I going to risk my career by going to the New York Jets when they have historically flubbed it up? So I understand them wanting to play him. Alan says the Jets need to win and the Cowboys need to win. So the Jets season is not over. Who are the Cowboys playing today? I don't know who they're here today. Unless you're talking about Cowboys need to win next week against the Dolphins. Phil says entertaining but loose. He wants to lose. That's what it is. Phil says Ryan giving medical advice. I'm not giving medical advice. Keep his ass on the sideline. Ravi says, I kind of want to see the Jets draft Pennington Jr. I hope his father taught him some tricks. His problem was never the mental side of the game. Chad had a noodle arm. Chad's arm, from what I remember, initially wasn't bad. It was all those surgeries. He had 3 rotator cuff surgeries? Christopher Williams says, it sounds bad, but as much as I like Uzama, him getting hurt was a blessing in disguise. So I think he was going to be gone at the end of this year anyway. I don't think he hasn't lived up to that contract. Phil says the rain is gone. It's nice, a little windy. Ugh. I just want whatever is impeding the Dolphins more. Give us an opportunity to see something special here. Tyreek Hill is officially inactive. Wow. Is that actually true? Is that what just happened? Did that just pop across the Twitterverse? Let's see. Laramie Tunsil liked one of Joe Blewett's comments. I'm not seeing anything from Tyreek Hill. Oh, there we go. Ian Rappaport, per 6 minutes ago. Dolphins star wide receiver Tyreek Hill is inactive today. He tried to go but wasn't able to. Achane is active. Both were listed as questionable. Wow. Okay, big change for our New York Jets. Going to be wild. See what happens. Jonathan Gomez says, Jets will win today. You heard it here first. They get a couple of shockers a year, and this will be one of them. Dolphins are vulnerable right now. I 100% agree. I think the Dolphins are vulnerable. I think Tyreek Hill being out makes this offense so much worse. So much worse. And fantasy owners got to be cringing. Tyreek Hill out for the playoffs or out for the final game, the championship rounds? Is that what's going on? Or I guess this is the first round of playoffs, week 15? I think it's week 15. Unless this is week 2 of the playoffs. Not good. My ass isn't in the playoffs, so I don't know where we're at. Main event says, I'm completely against Rodgers playing, but it's clear he's being driven to prove he can return in the same season, and he's the most powerful person in Florham Park right now. I would agree. I would think if Rodgers is able to go, he will go because he wants to go. And then Andrew says, if he gets hurt, we'll never hear the end of it. Dude, the jokes write themselves. If he goes down on MetLife's turf, I'm fine with him playing another game, but I kind of don't want it to be on MetLife's turf. Let it be away against the Browns or something. I don't know. I want to see him play. I'm jealous. I'm not jealous. I'm bitter because we didn't get to watch him play. And I just want to see what it looks like in a Jet uniform to see what we could have had. See, Tim got in. His fantasy team started 2-5. Somehow he's 7-7, and also DJ Moore beneficiary. Yeah, I got screwed. Hi, Lost Boy says, how many sacks will Quinnen get? I had him getting, I think he'll get 1. 1 would be solid. But I think our defense as a whole can get 4. With a beat-up Dolphins offensive line. Could be more. Tua just gets the ball out so fast, it's going to be a little tougher. Yeah, you guys all excited. Look at that. Tyreek Hill is out. Achane is starting. Alex says both safeties and Howard are out too. Let's see. I guess let me refresh the page for the Dolphins and see if they've updated it with the new. No, they still haven't listed Tyreek Hill as out on their official website, but I did see the report from Rappaport and from Schefter that he is going to be out. Phil says, Ryan, the medical advice you gave for the STD guy. It burns when you pee. That's not good. Haskell says, 187 fans here, but the video only has 62 likes. Thumbs up. Let's effing go. People represent. Smash the like button. Hit those milk thumbs. Milk thumbs. Come on, baby. Show the channel some love. Isaac says, start Jets or Bears defense today. I am not sure who the Bears are playing off the top of my head. So I'm going to tell you start the Jets. Jets defense with no Tyreek Hill? That's where I'd go. Jimmy says, Dolphins backup center seen in a walking boot too. Oh, it's going to be a bloodbath out there. Ryan, the only starter for the Dolphins secondary today is Jalen Ramsey. See, this tells me they're like, hey, don't worry about the Jets. Their offense can't do it. They can't figure it out. We don't need to play our starters. This is a cakewalk of a game. That's what's going to happen. Simplet Chode. Sorry about that. Says, we need to recognize that asking Zach to put together consecutive good games is a tall order. If anyone thinks that even if we get 2 from Zach, a third would be akin to moving the cosmos. Hey, every great streak starts with 1. Then it goes to 2. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Rafi comes in and says, I'm scared about this game because I'm confident. I have this unwavering sense of confidence in this game that should not be. It's probably an unjustified sense of confidence given our history, but that's okay. I'll be confident until I can't be confident anymore. Civil Jet says, we need an offensive line for Brees. I was watching the Detroit Lions game yesterday. The running backs get like 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage before contact. It's ridiculous. That's what the Dolphins do too. Like even against our defense, I think we're going to have issues with their running game. Either way, they are very, very good. I smell Sauce's first ever pick 6. Oh man, it would be so beautiful to have that happen. And you know what sucks is like every fucking Dolphin said, "Oh, you couldn't beat our B team," or "Oh, you only beat our B team." Oh, we smacked you around last year with our B team, or with their B team. Ugh. Haskell says, now I'm conflicted in 2 first-round match myself. Defenses. Do I start the Jets D versus a weakened Miami offensive line and no Hill, or the Giants versus New Orleans with no Olave? So I would say the Saints are probably less likely to go off the way the Dolphins could go off, but even given the Jets' success against the Dolphins the first time around, which is kind of weird to say because they still scored like 40 points or something like that, I don't think you're going to see the Jets roll over the way they did the first matchup. Melvin says they're disrespecting our team. That's what they're saying. They're saying, screw those guys. We don't need them. Let's beat them into submission and start this roll of 5 straight losses. Even if the Jets can't get in, I want the Bills to knock the Dolphins out of the playoffs first round. That's the matchup I'm hoping for. Yeti says, I honestly don't think Tua would face us twice. Really thought it'd be Mike White. Yeah, I thought White would come in a second time. I thought we were going to crush him the first time. C. Moon says, no Carter Warren or Max Mitchell. Man, our offensive line isn't looking great either. The right side. I'd roll everyone left. Let's just keep going. I wonder if Dwayne Brown, is Dwayne Brown going to be out there? And are they moving Becton to the other side? Or are they starting someone else at tackle? I don't know. I don't have the Jets line pulled up. So if you guys see who's starting on our offensive line, let me know. Billy says, Miami right now, 75, feels like 79, sunny and windy. I think the wind is the bigger factor for Tua and his tortellini arm, or his penne arm. It's pasta. He's got a noodle arm. Salik, Dolphins wide receiver, Tyreek Hill. Dolphins safety, Javon Holland. Corner, Xavier Howard. Chris Olave, Nico Collins, Christian Watson, and Packers A.J. Dillon, all inactive. Tim says, how many Jets do you think will, not should, make the Pro Bowl? I'm going to go with 4. So I think the last I saw, there were a few players that were inside the top 10 at their respective positions. I mean, honestly, Sauce, Reed, Carter, those 3 should absolutely make the Pro Bowl. They're 3 of the best corners in the league, probably the best trio in the league. And, you know, for them to not make it is probably more a testament to the bad season of the Jets more than it is a reflection of the players themselves. I think Reed has had the best year of our corners so far. And then when you look at our defensive line, you could argue Huff based on percentage. The amount of sacks he has versus the amount of pass rush reps he has is wild. It's like 20 some odd percent. I don't know. I'm not sure how many would make it. Hardy on special teams could make it. Zerline's been our entire offense. You could argue him, but he's not going to beat out Tucker in the AFC. Punter, Morstead's been clutch. But again, I don't know how many Jets I honestly see getting into the Pro Bowl. I think it's going to be tough. I think you're more likely to get the name recognition more than anything else. I think Sauce and Garrett and, I guess Brees won't get in. I don't know. Legacy Breaker says, okay, someone help me out. I know we need to win all our games, but what's the highest seed we could land? I don't think there's a chance that the Jets can win the division. Let's say the Bills lost out and the Dolphins lost out. I think the Dolphins still own the tiebreaker over us. So we can't get up to 4th seed. I would bet 7 seed is the highest we can get. Mario says, kind of sad that Tyreek is out because we won't get to see Quinn and pancake him again like last year. Heck, maybe we'll see a little run like that Buffalo game where Coach Saleh, is on the sideline. He body slams Zach to the ground. Maybe Quinn will be running so hard that he just hits Tyreek by accident out of bounds, or someone throws Quinn and falls into him. Who knows? Maybe he pancakes himself. Amando Hill is inactive. Yes, he is. Rafi says, is Garrett Wilson the most talented homegrown talent we've ever drafted? I believe it's a no-brainer that he is the most talented, but I don't know about defensive players included in that statement. You'd have to say offensive players and make a hope for it, right? Because defensively, I don't know how you don't say either Klecko or Revis or, a whole litany of defensive players. Garrett, since I've been watching, so I can't speak to the players that came before probably 2000 or 98. I would say offensively, from a skill position, yes. Then you can make an argument maybe Mangold, maybe Brick. Curtis wasn't our draft pick. I don't know. I think he certainly has a ton of potential to be the best offensive player we've ever grown. Carmelo says, poor Dolphins. They don't have Reek for today. LOL. Oh, wait, we're missing half our team. Next man up. Completely agree. I'm going to lose my shit on TD when he starts saying, oh, you guys only won because we don't have anyone on our team. Yeah. Kick rocks. Kick rocks, TD. Carmelo says, I remember thinking Carter was going to be another Kyle Wilson. I was so wrong. Thank God. Nice thing about Carter is Carter was a 5th round pick. Kyle Wilson was a 1st round pick. Totally different. Melvin says Morstead should be a Pro Bowler. I think so too. I don't know if he'll get it. I mean, maybe because the Jets have been so bad, we've seen him so much. Maybe he'll actually get it. Nick says, Ryan, say we went out and go 9-8. Who are our options for upgrading our left tackle position in the offseason without a top pick? So if we go 9-8, I guess it depends where that puts you. That would put you, I think 18, get you into the playoffs, 18, 19. Because of the extra teams. So if we win out and we miss the playoffs, you're saying the best pick we could get is 17 maybe, or worst pick, I guess, if you want to call it that way. There's going to be some options. You got Jonah Williams. You've got bringing back Mekhi Becton. I think Bakhtiari is definitely going to be a name to watch out for. If Becton leaves, I could see them bringing him in. There's a few guys in the draft too. I like the kid from Alabama, J.C. Latham. He's a right tackle. I'm fine with drafting a right tackle because I think you got to solve both problems anyway. So I'd be good with that. Civil Jet says, I saw an article discussing why Sauce Gardner should be traded. Would you ever do it? No, don't trade Sauce Gardner. I got so much shit last year when I said, like, all right, if you had to make a trade, like Sauce for Lamar Jackson would make sense. It's probably not crazy wrong, but I don't want to trade Sauce. I like homegrown players that are like ours. I want to get our quarterback. I don't want to have to trade for someone else. I don't want to trade Sauce. I'd be upset if we did it. I would enjoy, like, if Sauce left for a different team, I would probably have like a little bit of me that would want to see him do well. I shouldn't say a little bit, a lot of it. I don't want to move off Revis. Revis. See? Slip of the tongue. I don't want to move off Sauce. Dakota says, wow, no Tyreek Hill today. I'm seeing in Matt's stream. If it's true, let's effing go. Yes, no Tyreek Hill today. That is accurate. Phil says, also, the NFL did a poor job of promoting Saturday football. I missed it. Dude, I had no idea Saturday football was going on, and I cover the fucking team. I'm sitting, I know normally this time of year they do start doing it, but like, I didn't see one commercial for Saturday night, like for Saturday football. I was talking to one of my other buddies, like, there's 3 games on today. I was like, what are you talking about? I went and saw Santa yesterday with Shay and Ren and Becca. Rafi says, random thought, but I don't think the Jets re-sign Huff. Front office will want to see what they have in Will McDonald, which I think is a huge mistake. Huff will get massive offers and Jets won't match it. I think the Jets need to franchise tag Huff. I will be so salty if they don't, because I, like you, agree that Huff is so incredibly valuable to other teams and to us. Now, if you want to say, oh, well, we can't like hold him long term, if you're going all in for a season with Rodgers next year, bring back your best pass rusher and arguably your best defensive lineman right now. I mean, I guess you can't really say that with Quinnen, but either way, you bring back Huff for 1 year and then you franchise tag him again next year and you trade him, and then you see that Will McDonald has taken that next step as opposed to hoping he's going to take that next step and allow Huff to leave for nothing. You cannot allow Bryce Huff to leave for nothing. I will lose my damn mind. Lose my damn mind. Can't happen. All right. QR code is on the screen. Let's do a little call-in action. If you guys want to call in, talk a little bit of football, a little bit of Q&A, let's do this till about 12:30. See if Connor's in here. Connor usually calls in. There's our boy Connor. All right, we got Connor. We got Nick. Let me pull up my frames real quick. All right, we got Connor joining the show. Connor, how you doing? And hold on, I didn't hit it.
I'm doing well. How are you?
Give me a second. Pause. Sorry. I screwed up. Give me 1 second. I can hear you. I screwed up the thing. Boom. There's Connor. How you doing? Oh, he's wearing my hoodie. I love it. How you doing today, Connor?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm cautiously optimistic and hoping to see a nice beatdown of the Finns. What are you expecting today?
I'm expecting another air-it-out game from Zach. I think the offense has another good game, but I don't know. The Jets have been so unpredictable this season. I'm just watching the game. I'm not even like rooting for anything because I have no idea what's going to happen.
That's not a bad way to go about it. If you go into it with like zero expectations, you can at least go and say like, oh, well, I'm pleasantly surprised or I'm not disappointed. I do that a lot with the Jets, like heading into seasons, but this is a game that like, if there's one win that I really want to have, it's really against the Finns, like so bad. Because if we lose this game, then I'm going to have to hear, oh, we had the entire team out and you guys still lost to us. It doesn't matter.
I don't want to see Rodgers though. Everyone's saying, oh my God, I want to see him Christmas Eve. I don't want to see him at all.
I'm terrified because if he winds up getting hurt again on MetLife's turf, it's like, okay, the first time he stepped on our turf, he got hurt, and the last time he stepped on our turf, he got hurt. It's going to be miserable all off season. This is like worse than the butt fumble.
I agree. I mean, we have 2 now legendary plays back to back: the Fail Mary and the butt fumble.
It's terrible. We got the fake spike from like, was it the 80s or 90s when that happened?
everyone's saying like we should tank, blah blah blah.
Mm,
I like winning. Like the draft pick honestly doesn't matter to me. I
mm,
think like the offensive line is like so deep in this draft. You have Fashanu, Alt, J.C. Latham,
mm.
Tylese Fuega. There's so,
Yeah,
and
the
then
Oregon
in the,
State
like
kid, I
the
think.
yes, in like the
Mm,
second and third round too. I think we go wide receiver some point in the draft.
mm.
I mean, I want T Higgins. That catch he made yesterday was sick.
He's
I
so
think we
good. He's
I
so
know.
good.
I think we go. I feel like I either want to go like O line in the first round of the draft and get a wide
Mm,
receiver in free agency, or go
mm,
wide receiver in the first round like Neighbors or Coleman, and then get like
mm,
Jonah Williams, Hunt, Glasgow, those guys in free
mm.
agency.
Connor, we seeing a win today?
I hope so. I want a touchdown. I
Connor,
want another touchdown.
Connor, I will see you in the post game. Good talking to you, dude. You've been ejected
You're
from the
out of here.
cockpit. All right, we got Nick joining the show. How you doing today, dude?
Ryan, my man, what's going on?
How you feeling about today's game?
Good, but you never know. It has all the makings for a jet trap game.
Ugh.
You just know.
It's hard to
Like,
say like it's a jet trap game when the Dolphins have been steamrolling teams, but like it feels like it because the Dolphins are reeling from last week and the Jets are like cheering from last week, and now the Dolphins are missing a bunch of players and the Jets are starting to get kind of healthy. I don't know.
yeah, like I'm worried like someone like Braxton Berrios is going to show up and,
Uh-huh.
and have a 100-yard game that
Fucking the mullet guy that we had, Feeney, is gonna have like a key block on a
yeah,
Barrios end
exactly.
around, and then Mike White's gonna complete the 2-point conversion or something stupid like
Yeah.
that. It's gonna like drive us into insanity.
Yeah, so I wrote in, earlier. See, here's
Mhm.
my concern is about, we're going to win up. If you're telling me there's tackles we can get, great.
Mhm.
But because there's still so many holes, even with the free agents that we have, like Bryce Huff, right? That's a great example. If we lose Bryce Huff and
Mhm.
Mekhi Becton, those are two holes on the offensive and defensive line, then bam. And we still
I don't
have to
think you
solve
can lose both. You got to
two.
use the tag on one of them. And I think Huff is more deserving of the tag, even though Becton could be argued as the more important player because of the lack of depth behind him versus the lack of depth
Yeah.
behind Huff. But like, I feel like you got to franchise Huff and trade him. If you're not going to keep him on the team, you got to at least do that. Someone will give you a second
Yeah,
round pick for him, I think. I think you can get a second or a late
yeah,
one, maybe. A
probably.
team that needs an edge rusher, a guy that's already developed, filthy speed.
I know.
Turn.
I would just hate to. It's just such an embarrassment of riches with him, Jermaine
Mhm.
Johnson, and McDonald's going to pan out somehow.
Dude,
He's
McDonald should never have been the pick. That's what created this whole Bryce Huff like situation right now. Now, hopefully, McDonald winds up being every bit as good, if not better, than McDonald or than Huff. I don't know. What do you think about Tyreek Hill being knocked out for today?
Oh, it's huge. The thing is though, Sauce doesn't travel, right? So
Mm.
it's going to be DJ Reed on Braxton Berrios, whoever their 2 or 3
Mm.
is now. So, I mean, it's good. It's still great for our defense. I think we're going to be in this game, and we got a great shot at winning it. They're going to have a
Mm.
shot to win it. If Zach plays like he did last week, we're going to win. But again, the consistency has always been the issue that we're looking for.
We got it. Every streak starts with one. Nick, you've been ejected from the
You're
cockpit.
out of here.
All right, we got Richie in the stream. Richie, how you doing tonight?
Hold up. There we go.
What's
What's up,
good?
man? How are you?
Hanging in there. Let me switch. I'm going to switch it to the other, the vertical view. Boom.
There we
Like
go.
the shirt. Very cool.
Listen, man, I'm repping the Jets today. It's a huge, huge game. All these
Mhm.
fans are saying they don't want to see Rodgers this year, but like we need to see Rodgers. I haven't been happy since 9/11 when that
Oh,
happened.
dude.
I left the game at halftime. I watched the rest of the game in my bed. It's just I need him back. I need my happiness back.
Dude, I want to see like the little bit of a glimpse of what our team could have been. Like if the Jets just go on an all-out offensive explosion, like the final weeks with Rodgers here, I'm gonna feel so good,
Exactly.
and it's gonna attract so many free agents. Like if Rodgers doesn't go out and play, I feel like there's still that mystery. The only part of me that doesn't want to see him play is like the pessimistic, doom and gloom, like rainy
course.
cloud Jet fan. It's like absolutely terrified. Now, what do you think about today's game? Like Tyreek Hill's not playing. Jets winning this one?
Both starting safeties out for them. They're down Phillips too. Even their O line's banged up. This is a game like the Jets have to win, but historically we always lose these type of games. And like the other boy was saying, Braxton Berrios is gonna make a play. Mike White will come in.
Yup. Yeah, it's gonna be like, all right, the Jets knocked out Tua first play of the game, and Mike White comes back and beats the Jets, and Feeney has a key block for Braxton Berrios. It's just gonna be something stupid. It's something so Jets.
Yeah.
Like I always expect something Jets to happen.
Of course, yeah. We need something big from Sauce today. He needs that pick.
Dude, it'd be nice. Like a little bit of like manifesting it happening. Robert Saleh like rubbing hands and.
Oh yeah.
I just want to see it. Just want to be excited. I want to be entertained more than anything else, I think.
Exactly. I think the Jets, they're going to win the game today, and then we see Rodgers next week. I'm praying for it.
I think they're definitely going to push it super hard because there's just so much, ticket revenue and hype, and it's the final game of the season. Let's try to make whatever we can. I would love to see the fans that are going out Christmas Eve to go see I want to be happy on Christmas Day. Like Rodgers comes back,
the Jets tree here.
blows the doors. Oh, there. The Jet Christmas tree. I need a Jet Santa hat for my tree. That's a great way to top your tree.
That's a tree topper.
Oh, that's a great tree top. See, I out on a whim grabbed the tree from which way is it? I don't know how to point in a camera. That way. That tree was Target special, 50% off. I was like, oh, this is great. I don't need a tree topper. Yeah. Fucking Santa hat. Santa hat's a great way to do it. All right, Richie, your final prediction. What do you think happens? Jets win in a blowout, win close, or wind up losing a heartbreaker?
The Jets are going to win in a close game, like Zach Wilson special. Final drive.
I love it, Richie. You've been ejected from the cockpit. Boys and girls, if you'd like to call in, the call-in number is linked right there. Just scan the QR code. There's going to be a little option. You can click into the call-in show, and you guys can pop in. We'll talk a little football. You get 2 minutes on the clock. After 2 minutes,
That's it. You're out of here.
that's right. The chicken flies across the screen. Rex Ryan says, great to hear from Connor. Actually, you know what? Hold on. It is great to hear from Connor, but let me move this a little bit lower just in case you guys do want to call in. Great to hear from Connor. It's hard to see a Jets fan. It's hard to see Jets fan who haven't been scared by teams from our past. Connor is one of our best callers that comes in. Like consistently has good takes and consistently, rational. This is what it is. We get some guys on here that are like losing their damn mind, and I love that too. You guys are more than welcome to call in as well. But Connor, a little young, plenty of time to have heartache. As a New York Jet fan. Let's see. Crossfire, what's up, dude? Been a minute. He says, okay, everyone, I have to go see the Nutcracker. Wish me luck. I will be missing this game, unfortunately, but let's go Jets. So Crossfire, I will have the every throw video up for Zach Wilson, so you can at least see the offensive production side of the ball from us. So make sure you have that notification turned on. Pure Adrenaline Sports. Almost 200 people watching, only 95 likes. Smash those milk thumbs, boys and girls. Milk thumbs. There you go. There you go. Salik giving us some green and white hearts, saying something that Dakota said. What did Dakota say? Dakota said, Hill is out, Howard's out, Elliott's out, Jerome Baker out. I believe I've counted 9 starters out all together for Miami against us today. So what are the Jets missing? We're missing right tackle, right guard, quarterback. Those are really like the big ones. It's just like Aaron Rodgers is just an enormous piece that's missing. Could be one the entirety of the season. Sorry. Phil says, franchise and trade. I agree, Ryan. We need to free up money for guys like Higgins. So you can sign T. Higgins and franchise tag Bryce Huff and keep him. I did a mock offseason, and I'm excited to do another one, and it'll be what I want to have happen, not what I think the Jets will try to do. I try to do different sort of narratives with each mock offseason I do. It's just a lot of work and like calculations that go into it with all the numbers. But you can get up to like $60 or $70 million in cap space with only cutting like 2 players. If you cut Bawden, you cut CJ Uzama, and then you restructure a few contracts, then you have a ton of money to free guys up. So it kind of depends how they feel about Mosley, Reed, Conklin, and JFM. Those are the 4 that can free up the most amount of money from restructures. T. Higgins is hands down. I've been saying it all season long. T. Higgins and Mike Evans are my two top offensive players that you could bring in. like, I get the love for Davante Adams, but I do not want to see us trade for Davante Adams. Phil says, also, Tyreek may not hit the 2,000 mark now. Yeah, I mean, that sucks. I don't want to see him. I mean, I don't want to see him get it because he's a Dolphin, but I also don't want to see him miss it because he's injured. Like, that's not how I want to see things go down. Civil Jet says, for our playoff hopes, who we cheering for? All NFC teams and who else? So O'Leary had a good little graph. Let me see if he's got it pulled up. I can... Let's see what Matt's page has. He had a rooting guide for us the other day. He always does it, and I love it. Keeps me up to date on what has to happen. Pretty decent-sized miracle for the Jets to make the playoffs. So Nanny has got a good percentage chance. This is as of, I guess, yesterday morning, so I guess these are probably a little different. He says Vikings at Bengals, Colts at Steelers, Broncos at Lions. So the Lions won. The Steelers and Colts doesn't really matter. It's kind of all the same. And the Bengals beat the Vikings. So that kind of hurts. So I guess we're at 11% odds if the Jets make it to 9-8 per New York Times Simulator current draft odds. Entering Saturday, if 9-8 were 12%. So we lost a little bit, which is kind of what I heard as well. Interesting stuff. It's a pipe dream. I'm just hoping for today. Carmelo says, now Dolphins have no excuses. We lost our quarterback for the year after 4 snaps. Oh, God, I want to beat them so bad. So bad. Brock says, Connor is the GOAT. Connor is the GOAT. Sky's the limit. Our resident Dolphin fan in here says, Tyreek Hill is out. Howard is out. If Jets can't win, they are pure trash. The Jets are playing their backup quarterback. What the hell are you talking about? We beat you with your backup quarterback. We beat you into submission last time. When you guys had Teddy Two Gloves, knocked his ass out, and you had whatever his name is, and we put you into the ground 6 feet under. Trying to win without a backup quarterback is not easy. Or without a quarterback is not easy. Although the Jets are going to have their best shot at winning today with Tyreek Hill and Howard out. I mean, heck, we kept it 10-6 before a friggin' fluky interception that was returned for a touchdown last time. And that was against, like, a trash guy that shouldn't be in college football, let alone the NFL, and Tim Boyle. I don't know. I think you guys are going to be bitching and moaning. If we wind up beating you, it'll be like, oh, you guys beat our B team. All right, well, we were very close to, like, upsetting you guys last time if it weren't for the fucking Tim Boyle issue. It's just things going sideways 6 seconds before halftime. I don't know. I think you guys are a bad team. You scrubs. Scrubs down there in Miami. Beat a winning team, then we'll talk. You guys wind up beating Dallas. You guys wind up beating Baltimore. I'll give you guys the credit. But right now, you guys still haven't beaten a winning team in a year and a half. It's a year and a half. That's ridiculous. That's insane. What kind of, like, chest-bumping team or fan is going to say, like, yeah, we're dominant? Fucking beat a winning team. Phil, I thought the Jets game is the Nutcracker. Yeah, Crossfire going to the Nutcracker. If you watch the Jet game, you can have your nuts cracked because they're going to kick you in the balls consistently. Jet Fuel says, should I wear my Zach jersey or Sauce? Go with Zach. We don't know how much longer we're going to have to wear him for. Go with Zach. Euphoria says, a Breece Hall touchdown. I would love to see it. Would have loved it, we loved it last week. Get him the ball. Melvin, has the game started yet? No, it hasn't started yet. It starts at 1 o'clock. I'm going to hop off here at 12:30. I'll get ready for the game. If you guys want to call in, you can scan the QR code on the screen. You can call in to the show. Talk a little ball. Carmelo says, can we end the year with the same record as Miami? Oh, that would be funny. That would be really funny. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Miami's going to get 1 win in these next 5 or next 4. But I do think there's there is a non-zero chance that they're going to lose out. A lot of it hinges on today. If the Jets win today, Miami might be reeling the last few weeks. And then Buffalo, I want to see Buffalo, Miami in the playoffs. That's what I want to see if the Jets can't get in. Boring Sober Guy says every single Jets game this season has felt like a nutcracker. That's about incredibly accurate. Phil says Jalen Hurts is downgraded for Monday night. That's a new one. Yeah, who are they playing Monday night? What is the Monday night game? They are playing the Giants. Is that right? That's what's up? No, sorry. Seahawks. They got 2 Monday night games back to back. They're playing on Christmas Day also. Jesse P says Sky is TD's burner account. That would not shock me. TD's reaction to them losing the Titans game was so magical. I had to sit in his chat and just watch him crumble and cry. And beautiful. Thing of beauty. Andrew says all they point to is the Denver game. They put up 70 against a trash team. Who the F cares? Not to mention, like, Denver was missing their entire defense. Like, you put up 70 points, but guess what? The Raiders putting up 63 points against the Chargers when the Chargers were missing, Herbert and Allen and Bosa and Williams. Like, certain things aren't as impressive when you beat teams with, like, limping along, which I guess us beating the Dolphins right now is that same version. Like, if the Jets wind up putting on a clinic against Miami, but, oh no, they were missing players, are they going to have the same clout they had for that 70-point win? I don't know. Oh, I had Johnny on the line. I don't know what happened to Johnny. Johnny, call back in. I'll throw you on the broadcast. The Wedge says, go Jets. We wrap the dead fish in Miami Herald. We re-ring Tua's bell. Bong bong. The Jets have awesome D. There is no D in Miami. Let's go Jets. The Wedge, I'm here for that. I'm here for it. All right, we got Johnny joining the show. Johnny, how you doing tonight, dude? Or today. I keep saying
Doing
tonight.
good.
I'm so used to doing the call-in show at night, and I'm doing it during the day.
I know, man. Hey, man, it's going to be a tough one today, dude. The Interjet fan in me is like, we're going to whoop their ass. We're going to beat them. Playoffs, baby. Here we come. But then the reality aspect of it comes in, and I'm like, we're about to get our asses whooped today by the Dolphins, bro.
No, I'm not having it, Johnny. No, I'm not even giving you the rest of the time. No. Positive vibes only, Johnny. I'm kidding. If you want to keep talking, you can call back in. I just want to eject your ass at least once. Oreo says, I only watch you, Ryan, and Matt. I am Ryan and Matt. Or I am Ryan. I only watch you. Ryan and Matt as far as content creators for sports. But TD Finn's talk is so entertaining. Bro is real on Tua and his team. He's so funny. I like TD a lot. I'm a big fan of TD. Him and Dougley. Dougley do wrong. I think TD's reactions are a little bit better because he's so animated. Dougley, I feel like, is a little more down to earth and realistic and just like crushed. His reaction, I went over into his live stream after the Dolphins lost and I just threw him $10 and I was like, dude, have a beer on me. Come on. Andrew says, we don't have Rodgers, and we're on, our 11th or 12th offensive line? Yeah, I don't want to hear anything about the injuries going on with the Dolphins. All right, we got Johnny back. Hey, Johnny.
All right. I deserved it, man. But, dude, it's just hard with Zach Wilson, bro. He's never given us 2 games back-to-back that I could be like, he's going to do it for us, and dude, I'm just so torn, man. Typical Jets fan, bro, just dealing with the highs and the lows, going through it, thinking like, oh, man, my dad calls me this morning at like 8 o'clock, and he's like, hey, man, you're watching the game today, right? He's like, dude, we're going to do it. I'm telling you.
We're all delusional. We're all a little slap happy. I love it.
And I'm like, Pops, man, have you had your cup of coffee yet? No. All right, man, go drink some coffee, dude. Like, what is going on, man?
You
Bro,
gotta believe.
I do, man. That's why I watch every damn game. I live in Virginia, man.
Oof.
So I watch every game. I order it through. I have the YouTube thing, and
Yeah, yeah.
watch it, all that. And it's either going to be a really nice weekend for me because we win, or I'm like the hugest a-hole, bro, just
Well, no,
because.
here, take it this way, right? Like, look, if we lose, it's because we were supposed to lose. If we win, whoa, we didn't expect that. I just want to talk shit so I could continue to talk shit.
I hear you.
I want to talk the most smack so bad to these Dolphins fans, but I feel like I'm getting that stripped away from me because if we wind up winning and they don't have Tyreek Hill or Holland or all these other pieces, they'd just be like, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. And it's just going to be them bitching and moaning back and forth for Dolphins and Jet fans.
And Ryan, let me ask you something. I know you got kids, right? Are
Yeah.
you? I do too as well. And I'm making them Jet fans. Like they don't even have a choice. Like I didn't, right? Are you going into the same type of?
I hope they want to root for the Jets because I'm a big Jets fan. You know, I would say I would put limiters on who they could root for. Like I don't want to see them root for the Patriots. I don't want to see them root for the Dolphins. I don't want to see them root for the Bills. I don't want to see them root for the Giants. And outside of that, if they want to like the Saints or they want to like the Chargers or something like that, I get it. I don't want it. I want Jet fans. I want them to commiserate with me and I want to be happy with them because it's a little bit more of a bonding thing. My dad made me a Jet fan. Do I hate it? Not necessarily. I think it's fun. It's giving me a channel to talk about and have fun with.
It's the truth, dude. I'm on the same boat. My daughter, she's 9, no choice since she was young. My son, he's 1, and my wife's pregnant now. So
Congratulations!
Appreciate it, man. As soon as they were born, they had Jets onesies on. No choice, bro.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got pictures to say, all right, see, you're in a Jet onesie. You've been a Jet fan since birth, kid. You came out like this.
Oh yeah.
Do you know
man.
boy or girl for the second one?
We don't. We find out in 2 weeks. I'm praying for a boy. I mean, well, let me go. I pray for a healthy child.
Of course.
Wife to be healthy. My preference is a boy, of course. You know, I want my girl to be the only girl. So
yeah, treat her like a little princess.
Exactly.
I love it, dude.
Hey,
Dude, Johnny, I'll be talking to you after the game. Win or lose, brother, you've been ejected from the cockpit. Duncan says the over-under is 36 points. I'm going to slap the over all damn day. Jets are going to score 36 by themselves. Dolphins ain't getting points. Come on. Carmelo says, gotta love Ryan. Always positive attitude. I got to try and stay positive. I want to be positive until I can't be positive. That's the hope. Civil Jet saying, where's Allison? I love the short clip from Talking Jets panel. Had a good laugh. Dude, we couldn't figure out what Allison was saying. It was so great. Thoroughly enjoy Allison tuning into the show. Oreo says, Ryan, is it possible for the Jets to win the division if Buffalo and Miami lose out and the Jets win out? Is there hope? I think we lose because of common opponents. I think that's what it comes down to is the next tiebreaker. Because divisional-wise, if we win out and those teams lose out, I don't think it works out that way. I don't think we'd have to have like a lot of crazy things happen in the AFC, I think, to have it work out. I don't think it is actually possible for us to do it. Andrew says, I was born into my family has had tickets going back to the AFL days. Wow. You guys been around a long time. My dad and grandfather had tickets that they got through like someone else for season tickets. Guy had Jet tickets and Giant tickets each year. And we bought the Jet tickets because the guy was a Giant fan. Well, that's how I became a Jet fan. And that was 95 might have been my first game. Whatever it was the year we went like with one win. So I think probably 4 or 5 was my first game. I remember sneaking beers into MetLife Stadium with my dad, and like we'd have a backpack, and this is pre 9/11, so they didn't open up your bag or anything like that. So you're walking in with your backpack, and they would just shake your backpack and make sure there wasn't any clinking around. So my dad, smart guy he was, he hid the beer bottles in gloves, so the neck went up to the finger, and the glove was like kind of sealed at the bottom, and that's how he snuck beers in because it wouldn't clank. They've hollowed out Italian loaves of bread and slid cans inside of it. You used to be able to bring all sorts of stuff in. Now you can't really do that so much, which is probably a good thing. Don't want to see people get too rowdy in there. But now you got to pay like $12 for a beer. Adirondack Fly Guy says, pound the fish. Squish the fish. I like it. John says, Old Giant Stadium was a literal riot. Old Giant Stadium, my least favorite thing about Giant Stadium was that it was called Giant Stadium. Other than that, I thought that stadium was 10 times the stadium we currently have right now. The parking situation is way better now than it was with Giant Stadium. I will say that. But I miss like the wraparound concourse. I miss around how you can walk around every single floor on one level without having to go up and down a zillion staircases left and right. It was just easier to navigate. Someone's got to get smacked around. whoever designed that stadium. Carmelo says, Tyreek isn't injured. He's scared of Quinnen's paw. That's what it is. Tyreek Hill out for today's game. I'm so sad. So sad. Let's see a win. Come on. Give us one. Give us one. You know what's going to happen too? Those damn Dolphins fans are going to be like, oh, we don't even need it. The important games are after this. We need to get everyone healthy. We could refuse to lose, this game to the Jets. We gave it to you so that way you guys could hurt your draft pick, so we hurt you for the future. I can see exactly the argument TD and Dudley are going to have. I can see it. Wow, Duncan says, heard on the broadcast last night that the Broncos have played every game this year with the same offensive line. That's how you play. If you get the same offensive line the entirety of a season, that is so hard to do in such an injury-riddled kind of game. You better have a good offensive line if you're playing everyone from the start. Hennessy says, I can't wait for the excuses. Yeah, I'm sure I'll have a bunch of Dolphins fans in here later, bitching and moaning. Mike D's life. We don't need Zach to have a big game, just a clean one. No, Mike, I know we don't need him to have a big game. But we have asked him to play within the confines of the offense, to play safe football. We do need him to have a clean game. But I don't want him to restrict his gameplay to be clean. I want him to take the risks. I want him to take the opportunities when he has them. The same thing we saw from the Texans last week, or against the Texans last week, that's what I want to see from Zach. Let the ball fly. Trust your arm to do it. What do you got to lose, right? That's what I want to see. I agree with you, Mike. Just got to have a clean game. I just don't want to neuter Zach for it. Hennessy says, excuses will go from it's the Jets to you only won because Tyreek was out. Yes. Andrew says he's a gunslinger. Let him sling it. That's where I'm at. I'm with you, Andrew. All right. It's 12:22 right now. Boys and girls, hit that like button if you're in here. I'm going to get ready for the game. I'm going to make some food, start chilling a little bit there, and get prepped. Got over 200 people in the stream. Hit the like button on the way out. Boys and girls, if you haven't heard of 3 and Out yet and you want to go support the channel, all you got to do is hit the little subscribe button over on Roundtable Sports. But here's a little promo as to what's going on tomorrow at 7:30 over there. Welcome to 3 and Out, the interactive NFL game show where viewers like you get to decide which of your favorite content creators get benched and which ones move on in the ultimate competition.
Under him!